Welcome all of you to your next training on Goody Bags. Now that seems like a little chintzy training here, Rhonda. Like you guys paid a lot of money to listen to this, and I'm going to talk to you about bags. Actually, this is a huge concept that has probably in the last 6 years ratified my business and continues to. And I think it's something that I personally as a trainer just took for granted that everyone was doing and knowing how to do. But when I work with my one-on-one clients, sometimes their first question is, well, Rhonda, what are you doing in your goodie bag? Rhonda, what's your goodie bag? What? And so it's not something that maybe comes naturally to everyone. So I want to explain to you the concept of a goodie bag, what it is, when you would offer it, what it looks like, the purpose of it, all of those things. Because including a goodie bag in your event, it's not just for retreats, it's for classes, it's for bingo, it's for retreats, it's for stamp camps, it's for birthday class, it's for all of it. When you include a goodie bag, a lot of things happen. It helps you, but it's also about the customer. It's also about how your customer feels when they get a goodie bag. So let me kind of give you a little bit of insight to understand why this is such a big concept. A lot of people, a lot of demonstrators struggle on getting sales from classes. They can hold events, people want to come, people want to have fun with you, but they're struggling on the sales part of it. And when you include a goodie bag, you're getting the sales automatically. Now they're not huge sales. They can be. For retreats, goodie bags are usually about $50. But they're usually about $20, $25 is a typical price of a goodie bag. Some of them for retreats are bigger, about $50. So the cool part is though that you're guaranteed sales from every single person who comes to that event. Now some of them will choose to order more at the actual event, especially if you use a lot of our tools like getting a $5 coupon, if you give the class free with a purchase, which you can't do if you're using a goodie bag. But there's lots of tools and ways to get sales even at the event. But right now we're going to talk about getting sales from everyone who walks through the door. Now that's how it benefits you. There's two ways that it benefits you. Number one is you're going to get sales from everybody. You are going to have sales. You are going to roll along the process of customers purchasing and using product. That is what our job is to teach customers why they have to have the product and love it, and then they purchase it and use it. The goodie bag puts the product in there, and so then they're forced to use it because they're going to use it on their projects that they're making that day. So the goodie bags are not there just to fluff up sales. Actually, in the very beginning, when I started doing retreats 7 years ago probably, we would have a goodie bag, and it was worth $50, and it would just be awesome product. And we didn't always make it a useful goodie bag, which I'm going to talk to you about today. And we just had ribbon in there, paper, awesome stuff, and it was all current and beautiful and new, but we didn't make them dive into it and use it. I thought they would just be great gifts for them to take home with them. And then I had a customer come up to me at a retreat and say, Rhonda, would it be less expensive if I just, didn't want the goodie bag? We would prefer just to save the money. And I thought, whoa, really? You don't want all that awesome stuff? The truth is they didn't know that it was awesome because they didn't see it used. They didn't know what it was for. So starting from then forward, my goodie bags took a very different turn. They were actually, and they are actually, the supplies that they need to complete their projects. So number one, they have to have the goodie bag. They can't opt out of it. Number two, they love the goodie bag because they learn what's in there and they learn how to use it. And we show them why it's so valuable to have that goodie bag. So what is a goodie bag? Let me start there too. Everybody might have a different thing in mind. So a goodie bag is a bundle of products that you are going to give them, and you have to present it to them in a I call it a goodie bag. Sometimes it doesn't always have to be a bag. I've used stamp cases before. So this was a goodie bag that everybody got at a birthday class that they came to. It was a stamp case, but it included the bundle of supplies that they needed. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Usually it's embellishments, and usually it's paper. Rarely will it include a stamp set, because that they can purchase. I'm going to let them purchase that later. But it includes the consumable items that they need to use at that event. So it is a bundle of products that they're going to want, and you're going to present them when they walk in the door. It's a gift. So this is where it is beneficial for the customer. Number one, they're getting a present right when they walk in the door. And it's presented to them in the form of a bag, or a form of a box, or a form of a gift. So immediately they're like, oh, this is for me. The feeling they get is so awesome. When you go to convention, if you've ever been to a Stampin' Up! Convention or an on stage, or leadership, or a founder circle, or any Stampin' Up! Event, the first thing you do is bag check-in. It's about the bag. It's important. People want, and we love that gift. I probably have no less than, I'm not joking, 57 bags from Stampin' Up! Between the events I've gone to the last 15 years of my life. And I cannot tell you that when I go to my next event, the most exciting thing I do is go pick up my bag. It's just how we are. And it's how our customers are too. So coming and getting a goodie bag is fun for the customer. It makes it exciting. It makes it a special event. They look forward to seeing what that bag is going to have inside of it. And maybe even the bag itself too. So that's why it's beneficial for the customer. It also gets product in their hands, and they get to take home all the leftovers, not just the projects. But here's the deal. They're taking home product that they know how to use. They know how to duplicate using it because they're going to have samples. It becomes a valuable product, not just stuff that we shove in a bag or they buy and don't know how to use. So our goodie bags have a lot of value to them and for us. Remember, it boosts our sales, it grows our sales, it is teaching customers to focus on the product and not just the projects. So a goodie bag can be packaged in many different ways. Everyone has a different business model and everyone has a different business style. You might not be able to copy the goodie bag that I offer, the actual bag itself. Like I said, there's different events where we have a goodie bag. So let me give you an example of some of those. The first, I'm going to start low and work up to big because it all depends on the cost of the class. So I'm going to go right from the beginning, okay? So get out your pen and paper and keep notes. Your basic class that most of you all should have. Not most of you, all of you should have. Actually, there's very few things I do in the business where it's all inclusive and I say you should and you have to. Usually there's a lot of variables in our stamping business, but this one I believe every demonstrator should have on their calendar. Even if you're all online, I think having this on your calendar helps you stay in touch with stampers and helps you stay fresh, and you guys stamp anyway, so you might as well do it with people. Is a monthly card class, just card class. And it's simple, it's easy, it's fun, you pick 4 of your favorite cards, 5 of your favorite cards, and you make them at card class. Now personally, I double them. So they're gonna get 4 cards, and they make 2 of each, they make 8 cards, and the cost is $15 or free with a purchase. Now because of that, I can't include a goodie bag because they're gonna get it free with a purchase. So my only expense really should be just my card stock. And that card stock I probably got for free off of some host rewards from the past. But when everyone walks in the door, they still get a goodie bag from me. And so I give them a bag that has all their paper cut in it and their envelopes. So that one is their supplies, and I put it in a Ziploc bag. Now, for a lot of my events, I also, even little classes, I'll make a small little favor for them. So maybe it's a little candy bar holder or a little gum holder or a Post-it note holder or a little box with some chocolate inside, and so that can be in their goodie bag, or I give it to them when they get there. So that's my base level class. That's the one you should hold every month consistently, and hopefully all of you are. Now the second class will be one that is more expensive. So we're going to talk about like a $30 class here, or $35. Now, if you're in Canada, remember, add on about $10, so yours is 45 or 50. If you're working in euros, you have to make that change as well, or pounds, yours will be like a 20-pound class. Now that one does include a goodie bag. So that one would be something like this that I showed you. So the goodie bag is my stamp case. Now I love this because this is also sales. A lot of our goodie bags we don't get sales from, so I love this. We used to carry those big, huge 12 by 12 craft keepers. Those were my goodie bag for everything because they were useful and they were kind of towards our sales. I really miss those. But these are awesome for that. And so an example of a goodie bag is about $15 to $20 worth of product, and the class is worth $30. Now they got white accents, they got a bolt of the Calypso coral twine, and a package of the Foxy Friends paper. So everybody got that when they got their cute, and then they decorated the case to make it a birthday. It was a birthday card class. And they got to take home all those leftovers, and of course the cards fit nice inside the case when they were done. This is an example of a mid-range class. Let me show you another one really quick. So, maybe you can't afford or you don't have the budget to go out and buy bags. So that one, you can make bags. So this would be a really cute, you could put a handle on it if you wanted to, but this is another concept to actually make a bag. This takes you like 5 minutes to put together. So to drive to the store and go buy bags and come back to your house, you could probably make 10 of these in that time frame. So maybe even 20 of these, because it depends. I live out in the country, so it takes me like a half an hour to get anywhere, and then so any trip is like a 2 or 3 hour trip. So you can make your bags, and so this is a Tasty Treats bag. This would be in my goodie bag. Inside of there, they would get the white baker's twine, and they would get the little sparkly sprinkle things in the Tasty Treats, and then everybody got a bolt of the peach ruched ribbon, and then they get to make 4 cards. This is a stamp camp that we're having coming up in February. 4 cards, and then they also get to make one of the new window boxes, and then they get to make their own bag too. So this is an example, and they also get a pack of the Tasty Treats paper. Now, obviously that's not gonna fit in their bag, but that's okay. You just hand that to them. You can put some ribbon around it if you want to, but this is the concept of a goodie bag, that it was based on product. Now, when we designed those projects, all we used was that paper, that ribbon, and that twine. I may sprinkle on pearls or rhinestones, because everybody has pearls or rhinestones, and I have them as well, and they're a very inexpensive addition. But the rest of it is all just cardstock. That's it. So that's the concept of that kind of a goodie bag. I got some other samples back here. So one of your Sunday classes is this boxes and cards. And so in this goodie bag, I would include a set of the boxes and some black baker's twine and some burlap. And that will pretty much cover all of their embellishments besides paper. So then all you have for your expense is just your paper. So you get to see all these boxes and everything, but this one was my favorite. This paper's free, so it doesn't even cost you anything. So really this one just cost you, because remember, they're paying for their own twine, they're paying for their own burlap, and so all you have is about a strip of paper for each box per each person. So your expenses are very low. Okay, so there's that one, and you can see, so I included the burlap. So we used, I would include burlap. So you have, everyone has their own, so there's very little expense. And we use the succulents, which you'll see those a lot today, or this weekend too. Now, let me go on to the next step. So that is where it's a smaller goodie bag. It includes about $20 or $25 worth of product. And you could call it a bundle, you could call it whatever you want to. The goodie bag just it's what I've always called it, and it just sounds fun. The next one is a more expensive event, like a stamp camp that may be $60. It could be a retreat that's $150. A full day retreat is usually about $69, and they include a lot more product. Now for those, I actually buy specific bags. you might not be able to afford to do that. They can be expensive if they're branded. You can buy ones that are non-branded that are much, much cheaper and very affordable, maybe $2, $3. I have a $3 budget typically per bag. So I do have a logo, so I get to, I buy bags that I can use for, and they're actually goodie bags. And I use discount mugs. This is the one for my retreat coming up in the winter. It's really nice. I love it. It's got a little holder here for water. And so I searched for these on discountmugs.com is what I use. That's where I found it to be the least expensive, where I can actually do my own printing. Again, unless you have, unless you can buy 50 bags at a time, or even 100 bags, then it becomes, maybe it might be too cost prohibitive for you. At that point, you get together with another demonstrator that does classes and you guys can go together and purchase them. I use these bags. This one I got was much less expensive. It's a little bit cheaper quality. And I even use these to package my orders in, because if you buy a whole lot of them, they can bring the cost of them way, way down. Not all of you can do this, but you may want to. And for me, a bag was a big deal. So your goodie bag might be, you ready? If you think that this is holding you back, you have no excuses, because your goodie bag might be this. That's okay, it's a bag, and you're gonna put product in it. You can even go and buy those just brown handled bags for like 50 cents a piece from Michael's or Joann's and decorate them. That's okay too. I want you to start from where you're at, and maybe someday your dream will be to have your own bag line and your own branding on that. So you can work your way up to that point. The reason why I can afford it is because I put it in my budget. All right, there's $3 written in my budget when I am planning people, so I don't pay for that, they do. I just happen to be able to have maybe more people to be able to sell it to. I have downline members who like to purchase bags, so we can, the more people who buy them, and the cheaper that I can get that price. So just something for you to work towards. It is a lot of money, but again, I'm collecting that from my customers. They are paying for that. Let's see what else I got here to show you. Oh, okay, so for a retreat like that, your goodie bag's like $50. So let me give you an example of something that may be. I have one back here, and it's using the new Project Life kit. Let me just come up a little bit closer so you can see me. But they're going to make 10 cards. I don't know if you can even see this, but 10 cards, and we use the kit and we use the accessory pack. And then I also include a package of the 6x8 page protectors, because we're going to make a little mini album there as well. I also included a bolt of white baker's twine and a package of dimensionals. I add dimensionals into my cost, into their goodie bag a lot, because usually even in one of my classes they'll use a whole sheet, and that's something that they go through very, very quickly. I add mini glue dots in my bags a lot too. So it's very easy to create goodie bags that are useful. Okay, so there's just an example of some of the things I would put in a goodie bag. And this one, like, listen, they have to have these cards, they have to have the ribbon, and they have to have the accessory pack. That's how they're going to make the really adorable projects that they have. So goodie bags have purpose. Oh, I've got another one back here that was a $50 one. Let's see if I can bring it up to you. So I have one more, and this is one that you probably wouldn't copy now, but just to kind of give you an example, was one for the Pop of Pink. And it included a package of the Pop of Pink paper, the gold foil paper. It included the gold sequin trim and black baker's twine and a case that we decorated. And we made they made cards with it, and then they also made a set. And they also got a thing of the white boxes. Can you tell I love these white boxes? I really love the white boxes. And you'll see that I have the word love, but the O is missing because I used it already. Like, I use things that I make. I just don't make stuff to sit around and look at. We actually use it. I can't wait to use these other ones. I'm gonna find someone who has an L and use this box for her. And I gotta find someone who has a V, and I'm gonna use that box for her. And then E is for my husband because his name is Eric. So I'm already going to use this one for his Valentine's Day. And I'm going to fill it full of Hershey Kisses, and I'm going to give him a kiss for Valentine's Day. Okay, and then they also made little 3x3 cards that matched, and we made the little envelopes on the envelope punch board. So can you get the concept? Like, I used all that product. I didn't use anything else. I didn't have any other expenses. The only thing that I have to ever expense and have expenses for is just the paper. And typically on that, I use my host rewards. So the expenses of a class come way, 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 way down when you include a goodie bag. And your customers are way, way, way happy because they're coming in and getting a bag full of fun surprise. Okay, so hopefully you got a good idea of what we're talking about here. Another concept would be something like bingo. When people come to bingo, they might only have a $10 goodie bag because the other $15 has to go towards the prizes for the bingo. So for that one, you might do like parts of things, like a half a package of buttons that they'll be using. You might even get on the clearance rack and grab a couple things off of there that will equal up to $10. So use your clearance rack if you have to. I choose typically to use current product because my goodie bags are usually a little bit more expensive. These are a concept that you can add into every aspect of your business. I went down from the very smallest event. That one, remember, the goodie bag was just the cardstock and maybe a small little gift, and all the way up to a retreat that may have a very full goodie bag. But the point is to encourage you to use those to make their projects with. Make them useful, make them want them. I'll take it one step further, that when I do a goodie bag at an event or a retreat or anything, even for my downline events, they get a goodie bag when they come in for my quarterly trainings, yearly trainings, conventions, things like that. They get a bag that has product in it that they'll use for their make and takes. Is that I love to have display stampers that I can give the goodie bag to a little bit early, and then they will create other samples using the supplies in that goodie bag. And that's all they get. They get the bag early. I usually give them some, an extra little prize or a hostess set or a big fat thank you and a hug and maybe something small. But they love to get to play with their goodie bag early, and they come up with some samples that I'm able to put on display so that my customers see even the bigger and better value of what that goodie bag has to offer. All right, good luck. I know you can implement this right away. It's all about the pricing of your class. So I can't stress that one more time. If you notice the prices of my classes, they include the goodie bag, so it's not costing me anything. I'm not any different than you are, and I'm not making any more money off these events than you are. I'm charging for the goodie bag. It's just, so therefore, because I do goodie bags with all of my events, my sales are really high. They are very good. And I hope I have happy customers because they love this kind of thing. And I know your customers will love it too. All right, thank you. Good luck. I can't wait to see what you do with your goodie bags.